good, my man.
Fantastic.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to see you guys as well. I want to start by saying how much I enjoyed this movie. It is fantastic. I'm sure you're hearing that from everyone. But before jumping into the film, I'm just curious. Something that's been going on the last 2 days, and I don't know if you've heard of it, is certain people saying that the Netflix movies aren't or shouldn't maybe be eligible for Oscars. And there's been a lot of talk about this. Have you heard about this? Mm-hmm. So I'm of the opinion, just putting myself there, that absolutely any movie made by Netflix, if it plays in a theater, should be eligible. Do you have any sort of thoughts on it?
I don't even know if I agree that with the stipulation that it has to play in a theater. I don't know why a theatrical release is, needs to be an element to make it eligible. I feel that sincere filmmaking at the highest level, which is what Netflix are doing. They're working with the cream of the crop of filmmakers and writers, and then of course that in turn is attracting a very, very high level of actor and everybody else in the filmmaking community. I think that it's inevitable because of the political. People have an enormous vested interest in maintaining the theatrical model and making that as desirable as possible. But I think it's rather unfair that might prohibit Netflix from being taken seriously in awards contention.
I don't know if you want to add anything.
I mean, he always says it perfectly, but I mean...
There was laughter in the other room.
Covered everything I was going to say. I mean, I completely agree with Charlie. Even when we were doing Mudbound last year, I've always, I thought the benefit to it was that no matter where you are in the country, you have the benefit, if you have Netflix, to go see this movie. And it's not relying on you having a theater in your town, your country, your city, because there's a lot of cities and countries that don't have them, and it becomes a big hassle, especially for how I was raised on the farm. My dad wouldn't drive us to the theater because it was 25 miles each way, so that meant $50 for a farmer that was trying to skate by. Just in gas money, then you got ticket prices, depending on how many kids you have, then, that's the treats and the sodas and everything. And when you can sit, in the comfort of your own home and watch whatever Netflix puts out as many times as you want, whenever you want, I think is a huge benefit towards cinema in general.
Completely agree.
There's also, can I just say one other thing? There's also a causality between or lack thereof between quality in film with theatrical release and its success. And so, if you're unlucky enough to be up against another, bigger title or whatever, you see it, time and time again, that it's easy to get lost. And that's the tragedy of working as an artist in the world of film, that you put, a year of your life into a project and then nobody sees it.
For 3 weeks.
And so...
I'm already out of time, but could I ask you just one other thing?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah. I'm sorry, because we monopolized all of your time.
I just wanted to ask about working with Guy Norris, because I'm a huge fan of his work. Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize he did second unit on this. He's really known for doing these authentic, practical stunts. Can you just talk a little bit about working with him and doing some of the stunt work in this movie? I
mean, we were warned that, he was coming on, and everything that he did in the latest Mad Max was incredible. It was all that, I could think of really when I saw the film, was how daring a lot of these explosive stunts were, and that was something that really excited me about doing this. The stunts that you're going to be seeing in this film have never been done before. Roman, our DP, make them shine and make them look more dangerous than we've ever seen before. I mean, everything is just, it's amazing what this film has to offer. And plus, then you got, what JC and everybody brought into the performances, like just a lot of heart, soul, dramatic characters who have endured a lot in their life, in their careers, and we just tried to make it as realistic as possible, and Guy came in and just knocked it out of the park.
He's sort of like, it's the new school that's a reversion to the old school, because he's of the philosophy of if we're not capturing it in camera, I'm not interested. He's not a special effects guy, and special effects, you've seen this trend of working in film for 15 years, or I've seen this trend, I should say, where more and more of the difficulty gets just washed away with the money hose, and there's always going to be some special effects guy going to poke his head out of his tent and say, oh, I can do that in post. And you're like, well, yeah, you could, or we could, you know, try to be, you know, invoke a little ingenuity right now and figure this out the way they've been making films, you know, for the last 70, 80 years, and figure out how to fix this problem and do it practically. Because, you know, I find that there's, even if it's imperceptible to the eye what has happened, there's something tricks the mind, there's something that the mind rejects with CGI, where you just say, it looks like it just happened, I just don't believe that it really did. And, you know, Guy is of that same philosophy. He just, you know, everything we did in the film is 100% practical.